road again, Saturday morning, and we are headed to Modesto. From Sacramento, it's about an hour, give or take, something like that. And so it's like 9 o'clock, and we are headed to pick up some parts for the VinVan. The VinVan is Vinney's van. That is Mike's son, who Mike has helped me out immensely. He's the co-producer of the channel and helps out a lot. But he can't do anything about me selecting a better beard trimming hairdresser, which somehow they got a little overly aggressive. Regardless, life must be pretty good if I'm worried about little stuff like that, right? Anyway, it's just a short little trip from Sacramento, and we're picking up like a front and rear axle. The front axle supposedly still has the springs attached to it, and the rear axle, I believe it's out of the van. Like an extra, like the guy was collecting parts or something like that. Anyway, I wanted to get these parts out of here before I headed to the Nats, because it's just gonna be maybe a couple of months before I get back. I'm not gonna take 2 months to get to the Nats, but regardless, I got other places I gotta stop along the way back. Anyway, an engine, which is getting increasingly more important with the amount of engines that are seemingly needing to be replaced. Anyway, Vinney's van, there's one concern and is still unresolved, and that is a title issue. I have not seen any paperwork on it, and I certainly don't advise anybody to be putting money into a van that they don't have a clear title to. It's just too much chance of it being a wasted investment. The stuff that you put in there could get all taken away if it turns out to be stolen or something radical like that. Anyway, it's just safe to have the paperwork all straightened away, and that is the number one recommendation if you do get your hands on a van, is make darn sure that paperwork is correct. Matter of fact, you might want to check out my YouTube video that is about the VIN and the secondary VIN location. I recently had an issue where that became quite important, and even some of these professional vehicle identification number verifiers are having problems with these older Chevy vans. And it's even worse if you have a GMC, since they didn't have as much documentation associated with them in the parts books and the dealer manuals. Regardless, it's supposed to be 104 today. Now normally I'm okay with working in the heat, but this heat has kind of crept up pretty fast and hasn't allowed me to acclimate like I have in some other summers. So we're going to try to take it easy, and I don't know if Vinny's going to be there at all. He's just a busy guy with a couple of kids. So anyway, we are going to go and snatch and grab some parts for Vinny's van, and then later on we might get the VIN verification of the VIN on Vinny's van or something. Come along and see what's going on. Okay, we are here at an undisclosed location in Modesto, California, looking at a Chevy 6-cylinder, supposedly a 250. It's got that one barrel B model Rochester on there, and it's got all the goodies that you would normally expect to see on a Chevy van, and a few that, well, no, it looks pretty typical, actually. So we are gonna see what we can do about getting that loaded up into the Ranger without a cherry picker. Yes. Let's take a look at some of the other stuff that we want to go ahead and get for the VinVan. This is front end. It looks like it's off of a second gen because of the wider springs, the 3-inch springs. And so we will take that just like it sits, maybe lay it down. And let's see, what else do we have here? So this is the rear axle, looks like a 10 bolt. and also second gen. So that's another thing that we are gonna get out from the weeds. And the last thing looks like this back end with the bumper and the mounts. So let's get to work. This is the haul from the VinVan extra pile, I guess you could say. The trip to Modesto was pretty good, just pretty hot, and it's warming up now. It's about 2 o'clock. We still got miles to go. Anyway, we're gonna unload all this stuff in front of the VinVan and then worry about it later. You can see he's got rear bumper with the brackets, rear axle with a couple of drums. Of course, I don't know what ratio that is. Probably your standard 10 bolt. Looks like all indications are that's a 250. We had to pull the cylinder head with the manifolds to make it lighter so we could walk that thing on there. Had the flywheel, left the clutch and pressure plate behind. Don't need that. It's got the engine cross member, front and rear springs, and a front axle. So anyway, a lot of goodies. Let's unload these and then get on.